Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Lars here. Today, we're going to go ahead and dive in and check out some videos. So, we're going to go ahead and start things off strong with an Alolan Sandslash lead. And obviously, not a great lead for us, but remember, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to let Bastion die. So, they're going to use a drill run. This person knows what we're doing, and they are going to farm down just a little bit. So, they have to use that shield, and them using that shield is critical for us to win. I mean, if they didn't use a shield, we would win. But yeah, either way. So we bring in Medicham, they bring in Azumarill. We are throwing in Victory Bell. And at this point, they're going to use Play Rough here. But in reality, we have to shield. They could charge up Play Rough and then use Ice Beam. So either way, just shield regardless. And they're going to bring in Alolan Sandslash. And of course, they have that Ice Punch ready to go as soon as we use our Leaf Tornado. But they have to shield. So here it comes. They have one ready for Victory Bell. And as you can see here, they used a fast move just to double charge it. And so here's one ready for Medicham. Don't shield with Medicham. There is no need. It's not going to do that much damage. And then they have Frostlass in the back. So kind of an ABA type thing. But one power up punch plus one psychic equals one dead Frostlass. Again, no problem. Power up punch, psychic, it's gone. And now I'm kind of, bouncing back and forth between using Ice Punch and whatnot. So this one, it got cut off just a bit. They had a Gunfisk lead. They switched to Sableye. I'm just trying to show folks that, if they do use a Sableye safe swap, bring in Victory Bell. You just have to use one shield, but just kill it with your fast. Don't even use a charge move. And a lot of people do use Sableye safe swaps because, if you use two shields with Sableye, you can kind of turn the tide and gain the lead at the cost of two shields. But Victory Bell nullifies all of that. Victory Bell comes in, says, hey, I'm just going to kill you with my fast move. You have no chance of gaining the lead. And yeah, it works out great. So there we go. Power Up Punch, Gunfisk, all you have to do is just use Power Up Punch or Ice Punch. Either one works. If you throw in Medicham, they throw in Gunfisk at the same time. Don't even shield. They'll get an Earthquake and a Rock Slide off. But don't worry about it. Those two combined, if you are using an optimal Medicham, won't hurt you or won't kill you. So there we go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to use a Power Up Punch. And there it is. And then Bastion's coming in. Go ahead, tank this Weather Ball, and then that's that. There we go. One last Stone Edge to finish him off. All right, turning my settings off to private mode. So Lantern lead. This team's really popular. Lantern, Knockdown, Medicham. It looks really bad on paper, but for us, it's actually fairly easy to beat. So bring in Medicham. I'm using Power Up Punch and then Psychic here. I think a little later in the videos you'll see me using Psychic just right out the bat, and that's a little better. Someone had mentioned that a long time ago, but yeah, I started off using Power Up Punch, then Psychic. Now I switched just to Psychic. Victory Bell versus Medicham. We were playing this. We were being aggressive here, very aggressive, because we want to gain the lead and maintain the lead. So we're going to use two shields for that, and then kill Medicham. Go ahead, throw this Leaf Tornado. And we also want to make sure we do that because Lantern versus Bastiodon we're in trouble, right? But if we can, get a shield, take one of their shields, and get the attack break, Bastiodon has a fighting chance. Because see, we broke their attack, and then we, took both their shields, and now we're looking good. There's no way they could have won. All right, on to the next battle. Let's see what's going on. I believe it's the exact same team. All right, yep, this is it. So we play this one a little bit different, or our opponent plays it differently. We switch to Medicham, they bring out Knockdown. They get a Sky Attack off before we can really get our Psychic off. So we're going to use Power Up Punch, like that, and then we're going to charge it on up. We'll try to use it. They, throw the Sky Attack before we can, no problem. Bring in Bastion, and Bastion is just going to farm it on down. And when it can, go ahead and do its thing. It's going to have enough energy for either a Stone Edge or a Flamethrower. Either way, totally fine. So there we go. They bring in Medicham. We say no problem. We get this Flamethrower off, and this is what's great. They don't shield here, obviously. When you have a Medicham and you throw a Flamethrower, the best they can do to Victory Bell is get one Ice Punch off. Or one Psychic. Either way, shield it, and then there's nothing they can do. looking good. Looking really, really good. All right. So Bastion versus Gunfisk. Just like before, switch to Victory Bell. They'll bring in Knockdown. With Knockdown, obviously, a lot of people know that we have Sludge Bomb, but still, it either eats one of their shields or it downs them. In this case, it downs them. So either way, that's why I like having Victory Bell. Some people will use Trevenant. The only reason why I like Victory Bell, besides it has a great fast attack that deals a lot of damage, is the fact that it can do something against flyers. There we go. All right, on to the next one. So we have a Toxapex, and really a lot of people might switch, if you're new to using Bastion, but don't, trust me, because Toxapex is so bulky, it really lacks a lot of attack, and the fact that Brine is just not a very good move, just a really bad move, and so we actually have the upper hand here. Another Brine, and so throw one more Stone Edge, and if neither of us shield, we're looking good. We're looking really good. There we go. Their Toxapex is down. They are bringing in Scrappy, so we're switching to Victory Bell and saving Bastion in case they do have a flyer in the back. They use Power Up Punch, and now they bring on Umbreon, so they're using ABB, 2 Dark types, and that means we got to save Medicham at all costs. We throw the Leaf Tornado, they shield, we get the attack break. That's great news for us. So right now, Umbreon's going to win this match, but when we bring Bastion back in, as you'll see here in a second, we are not going to bring in Medicham. We're bringing in Bastion just to, have Bastion act like a sponge. He's going to absorb some of these attacks. That way, Medicham can go up against Scrafty and, not have any HP taken off by Umbreon here. So, had I been in a different position, I could have farmed it down. But in reality, we're just trying to get this battle over with ASAP. So here we go. Dragonite used to be a great lead for us. Now, not so much because it has superpower. They switch to Jellicent. We switch to Victory Bell. Shield is Shadow Ball because they can throw a Shadow Ball. That would have been bad. And I made a mistake here. What I should have done is thrown this Leaf Tornado against Dragonite because a lot of people know, like I said before, that we have Sludge Bomb. And so using, Leaf Tornado would have at least, they're going to shield regardless. It would have at least lowered their attack. So here we go. Superpower coming our way. Not going to kill us, but going to hurt a lot. There we go. And then they have a Quagsire. So I'm going to throw this because it's their last Pokemon. Just do a little bit of damage. And then we bring in Medicham. And I'm not an experienced Quagsire user, but I am pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, that most people with Quagsire will use, like this person has, Mud Bomb and Stone Edge. They won't use like Earthquake and Stone Edge. They'll want that spammy Mud attack and then that anti-flyer attack. So for the most part, we're looking good because we resist rock, So far, looking good. That's it. And we win. All right, next battle. So overall, been a great, great day. This videos are a few days old just because I've been working a lot and I finally have a bunch of days off. But yeah, these are a few days old. Overall, the first day back was really good. So we have a Swampert lead. We switched to Medicham. Like always, they bring a Knockdown. It took them a few seconds to kind of debate on what to do. And so take advantage of that. Throw this Psychic here. And now, since they didn't shield, it gives us a chance to do Power Up Punch +1. So it makes it look like we have Ice Punch. We throw it and we get them the shield. And there we go, their shield. And so at this point, we're going to eat, it's going to cost us one more shield. So we're going to use both of our shields, but we're going to kill them with our fast. We have a Psychic ready to go for Swampert. And so we now have the lead. We have gained the lead. And Swampert has to use a shield if they want, their Pokemon to stay alive, which they do. So now we're both at 0 shields. They're going to go ahead and double charge that Hydro Cannon. There it is. And so we bring in Victory Bell, and they bring in Altaria. At this point, it's pretty much over. And they realize it, and that's that. On to the next one. So this is a mirror match. Almost this person has Trevenant instead of Victory Bell. So just a little bit of advice for people. You can't double charge Stone Edge. You can't double charge Flamethrower. I try to get it to 1 3/4 or close to it. You could do 1 1/2. But ideally, you don't want to throw it after, you build up a Stone Edge. Keep building up some energy just in case they switch or when we switch, because, a lot of times I will switch during a mirror match. you want to have almost 2 charge moves ready to go should they be, an ABB. So like Bastiodon and then Victory Bell and I don't know, another grass type, something like that. So always have that ready to either eat their shield or to kill them. So here we go. This person actually does use a shield here. Wouldn't recommend using a shield just to, gain the lead in a mirror match like this, just because their Bastiodon won't be able, it's really low on HP, and it's not really worth it in a mirror match for a shield. So it's our Medicham versus a Trevenant. We're going to throw the Psychic here, and they opt not the shield. So we're bringing in Victory Bell, and they are switching to Medicham. So at this point, what we can do here is A, shield, because it's going to be an Ice Punch, and B, throw this Leaf Tornado. And if they do shield, which we really, really want them to, and they end up shielding, um, we want to let our Victory Bell die and try not to kill their Medicham too quickly, because we want our Medicham to come in and get, a good solid 4 or 5 punches in. And so when their Trevenant comes back, had we had Ice Punch, we would have used it, but we don't. So we don't want to chance it, use Psychic, and call it a day. And that's that. Quagsire lead, we bring in Medicham. They switch to Knockdown, which is a very, very popular Pokemon to switch to, as you guys can see. So there we go. We're going to use Power Up Punch there. And at this point, we're going to go ahead. There's a Sky Attack. And then get them a little bit lower. And now a Psychic will finish them off if they let us. They shield. Totally fine. They're going to throw 2 Shadow Balls here. Again, does minimal damage to Bastiodon. And we're just going to use this as an opportunity to charge up our energy. So there we go. Another Shadow Ball. And they actually do switch. I don't recommend doing this, folks. Switching when the timer allows you to. It's a huge, huge gamble. And it sometimes pays off, but a lot of times, most of the time, it doesn't. And in this case, it was the latter, not the former. So we're going to go ahead and use both of our shields here. There it is. And their Toxicroak is down. And now they're going to go ahead. And if they bring out Knockdown, which I was planning on them doing so, we can kill Knockdown, no problem. And now it's over. Quagsire really could do it, especially with a charge move ready to go. So, on to the next one. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, most people honestly knock down Medicham and Lantern, really popular. So, just like before, if someone switches to Sableye, because Sableye is a popular save switch, not as much as Knockdown, but still popular, go ahead, bring in Lantern, use a shield, and finish him with your fast. That's it. They'll bring Knockdown back in. Feel free to use a Sledge Bomb because we want to get Knockdown actually low HP wise. Because if they do have a Medicham in the back, we're down to 1 shield versus their 2. But our Medicham with full health and our Bastiodon with like 3/4 health versus our Medicham with full health, we will usually win. In fact, it's really rare for us to lose. So they have a Lantern, no problem. Use Power Up Punch. In this case, it's one of the few times I'm glad I had Power Up Punch over Ice Punch. But either way, you could use Ice Punch to try to fake him out. Use a Psychic and an Ice Punch. It's a little bit harder without Power Up Punch, but for the most part, doable. There's a Surf. We shield. Power Up Punch. Here we go. There's that. And now we're golden. And that's that. So big takeaway, if you have Power Up Punch, use it. Like I said, I'm kind of waffling between Power Up Punch and Ice Punch. I'll probably go with Ice Punch in the end. I was using Power Up Punch during Retro Cup, but both are really, really, really good. And, it just depends on your kind of little micro meta where you're at, what you're seeing, and tailor it around that. So here we go. Sableye lead. This person switches to Registeel. If you ever see this happen, 99 times out of 100, they're going to have an ABB with double Steel type in the back. Because Sableye is a neutral lead to Bastiodon. In fact, a lot of times Sableye will beat Bastiodon. We don't like seeing a Sableye lead. It usually spells trouble. But if they are so quick to switch to Registeel, then usually they're doing it to bait out our Medicham so that our Medicham dies and that their Steel type in the back can, just kind of like march along unhindered. So there we go. No problem. Here comes a play. There it is. And then they go ahead, they charge it on up. and they catch our attack with their Stone Edge. They actually had a Bastiodon instead of I was 100% thinking it was going to be Gunfisk, but no problem. Bastiodon, that's totally fine. Either way, Bastiodon's a little bit harder to beat than Gunfisk with Victory Bell because you need that attack break, and luckily we do get it here. Like so. With an attack break, we can get 2 Leaf Tornadoes off. If we don't get the attack break, the best we can do is just that first one, and then we're really, really, really in trouble. So luckily, we get the second one off. They shield. We still have a shield left. No problem. We can bank that shield. And when they bring in, Sableye, we know they've double charged it. So let the first one hit you. Shield the second, or vice versa. Doesn't matter, because there's no way it's going to be, a return. They realize what we're doing, and that's that. On to the last battle of the day. Well, after this one, last battle. All right, let's see what we got here. So we have a Deoxys. Bring in Victory Bell, and what we're going to do is just keep on attacking. They're going to play it in the traditional way, which is throw the Psycho Boost and switch. They try to make us use a shield. They bring in Umbreon, which is a very, very, very normal thing to do. Right here, we can kind of gauge what team they have because we've seen this team so much. They did double charge, and I think this person is using Foul Play. But we did get the attack break, which is great news for us because Bastiodon can come in and just farm him down. There's nothing they can do to really cause us a lot of pain. Foul Play with it doesn't do a lot with Umbreon, and especially because their attack is broken. Like, look at that. It's just negligible. So here we go. They get another one off, no problem. There it is, and there they go. So they're going to go ahead. They bring in Deoxys. We're going to throw the Stone Edge. There's one. We're going to charge it on back up because we're kind of close. So there we go. And now they're actually going to shield this one, which means they have something in the back. I thought it was going to be a flyer, but in reality, it was a, well, you'll see here in a second, a Dewgong. They use a Psycho Boost, which means they're going to switch. So Dewgong, go ahead, use Power Up Punch here. There we go. And then we're going to throw the Psychic because we know they're going to throw, like an Icy Wind, which is going to negate the effects of our Power Up Punch and make this even. So there we go. Here comes the Psychic to kill this Dewgong. Well, almost kill it. And then we're going to get another Power Up Punch off against this poor Deoxys. And we're looking really good right now. It may seem close, but in reality, we just need a couple more boosts. This person actually throws a Psycho Boost, or I'm sorry, Thunderbolt, and then they throw a Psycho Boost here, but it's just too little too late.